Okay, so I decided to work out some of the questions from the worksheet that you did on Friday when I wasn't here. But if this is confusing to you, you need to go back and rewatch the full video as well as this video because it's just equations of line. It's just the circles we've been doing now meets algebra. So this will be on the quiz on Thursday. It will be on the test on Monday and Tuesday. So you need to know how to do this. Okay, so here's the equation of a circle right here. H and K, this is your center point. So your circle is centered at HK. So you just plug in the X part here and the K part here. And it has a radius. So then you just got to make sure you remember to square the radius. So centered at the origin, that would mean H was 0 and K was 0. So I don't even need that. I don't need to put X minus 0 squared. I don't need any of that stuff. So all I have to put, x squared plus y squared equals 10 squared, and 10 squared is 100, and then there's that. Okay, so then for this one, x minus a negative 1 would be plus 1 squared plus y minus 8 squared equals r squared, and r is 5, so r squared would be 25. Okay, and then same thing here, x plus 5 squared plus y plus 5 squared equals 2 on the square root of 5 squared. Well, 2 squared would be 4. The square root of 5 squared would be 5. 4 times 5 is 20. So you do have to feel comfortable working with radicals as well. Okay, so the next couple instead of giving you the radius, I'm giving you the center and a point that it passes through. So you're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem or the distance formula to find the length of the radius. So centered at the origin, so this part, whoopsies, this part over here is exactly the same. It's just x squared plus y squared. Now I need to find out how long is the radius so I can square it. Well, the origin, that's 0, 0. So from 0 to 0 is 9 squared, plus from negative 2 to 0 is 2 squared. So that is 85. Now, normally I would square root this because this is Pythagorean theorem, so I would square root this and I would square root this. But remember, for this formula, I'm just going to have to go back and square it again. Oops. Going to have to go back and square it again. So the square and the square root cancel out, and it just leaves me with, that's 85. That's a terrible looking 85. 85. Okay, same thing here. So the left side of the equation stays the same. Here's my center. So x squared plus y plus 2 squared. Now I need to use Pythagorean theorem to find the radius. So from 0 to negative 6, that's 6 places. From 0 to negative 2, that's 2 places. So that's 36 plus 4, and that is 40. Remember, I don't need to square root it because I'm just going to re-square it again. And then you can do the same thing for number 6. Okay, graphing this equation is just using the formula backwards. So given this equation, I can tell I'm centered at the origin because there's nothing going on over here. This is r squared, so that must mean the radius is really 5. So then what I can do is I can go out to 5 here, 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 and here, and that gives me enough points to be able to connect them around. So now I have a circle that's centered at the origin with a radius of 5, and then I know I did it correctly. Okay, over here, remember this is x minus h. So if this is x minus, then h must be negative 2. So there's negative 2. Same story over here. This is y minus k. So that must mean k is 1. So the center of this is at negative 2, 1. So there's the center, and remember r squared is 4, so that must mean r is 2. So I can go 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here, and then, oh, I didn't, that wasn't 2. How about 2 like this? And then I can make a circle like this. Okay, so write the equation of the circle with the points graph below. Now, when I connect this triangle, I can tell that this is a right triangle because this, let me zoom in a little. This has a slope of -1 and this has a slope of +1, so I know it's a right triangle. And these are the only kind I'm going to make you do. So since this is centered, since this is a right triangle, then the center will be at the midpoint of these two other points right here, so that I can tell when I do this that here's 4, here's 4, this is 4. So they're all equally spaced already. So if I just go over 4 this way and do another point, then I can turn these into a circle. So here's my center right here. It is at -1, 4. And then I have a radius of 4. So then I can form my circle x plus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared and set that equal to r squared, which is 16. Okay, find the area of the circle. So all I need to find the area of a circle is the length of the radius. So these are already on here. So this from -3 to 4, that's 7. From 6 to 1, that's 5. So 5 squared plus 7 squared. Let's see here. That's 74. Well, so that's not going to break down any. So the radius is equal to the square root of 74. So then I can find the area, pi r squared. Well, that's easy enough. So pi, 74 squared would be, or square root of 74 squared would just be 74. So there we are, 74 pi.